According to the FTC, phishing is when a scammer uses fraudulent emails or texts or copycat websites to get you to share valuable personal information, such as account numbers, social security numbers, or your login IDs and passwords. As you can tell, these emails can look pretty convincing, and the scary part is they're sent more often than you think. According to security firm Symantec, 1 in every 2,596 emails was a phishing attempt in 2016. With the amount of web use today, that's a scary amount of scams. Not only are they a threat to you, but they're also a threat to your children, as they can possibly affect their online identities. In fact, according to Carnegie Mellon University, children are 51 times more likely than adults to have their identity stolen. So as a parent, it's important to know what to look out for. So some of the most common scam emails look like they came from trusted sources like YouTube or other social media and gaming sites that they use every day. These emails may try to warn them that their account has been locked or compromised, stating that the only option to save their account is to authenticate themselves by providing personal info like a password, birthday, or even worse, a credit or debit card or a social security number. Still, some other common scams that your kids may come across include online contests and giveaways, promising things like free electronics or toys to those that enter their personal info that entered sweepstakes. Either way, this confidential info can be given for simply typing a reply email after following a link to a spoofed website. Overall, it's important to be aware of these strategies and to make sure your children know they exist, and to be cautious to avoid losing your accounts and personal information to attackers like identity thieves and child predators.
Wait, this email is actually a phishing scam.
If you look closely, there are some key features that prove this email is actually a scam. Oftentimes, as seen here, phishing scams will have grammatical errors like using the wrong form of to and spelling illegal wrong, as well as a suspicious link that may lead to a malicious site. Also, if you look closely at the sender's email address, you'll notice it's not actually from the official YouTube website, proving that this is a scam.
If an email looks fishy, it probably is not legitimate.
Phishing scams like these work through a strategy known as social engineering. Social engineering is like being a con man, as it involves taking advantage of the human element and playing with our trust and emotions like fear in order to get your child to divulge confidential information or click on a malicious link. According to child psychologist Brian Allen, children typically do not develop the ability to think logically about abstract concepts until adolescence. In addition to this, he states that between the ages of 5 and 10, kids also begin to develop a sense of intellectual independence and enjoy receiving feedback for things they complete or win, which is especially a big deal when dealing with scams. Because these attackers attempt to mess with our emotions, our children are especially vulnerable due to their lack of exposure and their heightened sense of trust. Through this, these emails will attempt to coerce kids and adults alike into usually doing one of 3 things: replying back with personal information, clicking a link to a malicious site, or downloading an affected attached file. These aforementioned hackers also tend to target specific audiences in a type of phishing known as spear phishing. Since our kids spend a lot of time on social websites like YouTube or playing games on Facebook, they may tend to overshare personal info on the web without considering the possible consequences. Even simple things like their birthdays, likes, and dislikes can be easily gathered by attackers if their privacy settings are not set. These can be used in scam emails specifically tailored to your children, which can be sent by a variety of attackers, even child predators. Overall, it is important to understand how these things work as parents so we can protect our kids and ourselves.
So as you can tell, phishing attacks are a big issue and your children are especially susceptible. However, there are a few key strategies that parents like you could use to protect them. First and foremost, antivirus software should be installed and active on your computer to prevent malware from infected links and attachments from harming your system. This includes familiar packages like Norton and Avast. You should also regularly back up your important files just in case something happens while your child is using the computer. Secondly, parents like you should openly communicate with your children about internet use and allow them to come forward with their concerns without fear. While they may be hesitant to share what they do on the internet at first, it is an important step in ensuring their online safety. The internet is a complex entity, so communication is key. You should inform your children that they should not give out personal information like passwords to strangers or follow suspicious links, especially not without your guidance. They should also learn not to overshare on social media sites, no matter what their peers may be doing. It also takes time for them to understand that, on the internet, the person on the other end of a line of communication is not always who they claim to be. Above all, it is important for you and your children to always check the sender's email address for legitimacy and to scan the message for concerning typos. This is an important skill to master, and is crucial for your child to learn how to do this. Also, remember to tell your child that if a message seems too good to be true, it probably is. When in doubt, don't click, just delete. Now let's see how our email user from the beginning avoids becoming a victim.